there are so many jobs open that you should be applying to. You should never put all your eggs in one basket unless you get an offer that's been signed. I mean, even then they can decide like, you know what, just kidding. We realize we don't have the budget for this. And I mean, United States is a lot of the states here are like at will states. Like they can let you go for whatever reason, and they don't really have to, it's just not a fun situation. So do not have your eggs in one basket. Do not get emotionally attached to any one job. As charming as they might seem, as exciting as the opportunity might seem, I can guarantee you there is a better opportunity for you, and always be looking, because you never know when the rug is going to just get yanked from under your feet. So just follow up a maximum of 2 times and then move on. And really, you should have been applying in the meantime anyway, because let's say you are interviewing with your dream company and you're like, no, I really absolutely must have this job. If you get another offer that is paying, a little bit higher, you can use that. You should keep entertaining that interview process, because you could take that offer and say, I'm also getting offers for like 20% higher. Is there any way you can match that? So you can get your dream job and you can be paid really well for it. So that's the advice that I would give to job seekers. Just understand that there are communication breaks that happen, and that these HR systems are very inefficient, and to just keep your chin up and to keep at it with other opportunities.
What's the biggest leadership lesson that you've learned in your career so far?
Always hire people that are smarter than you and get out of their way. Like, give them whatever like onboarding and training they need to become familiar with your processes and their other teammates and stuff, but let them have the creative space. And having creative space means not bogging them down with a huge workload. It means, helping them connect with their colleagues in a way that the flow of information is smooth. It means it might require like one-on-one mentorship. And this has become very common among people who are hiring Gen Z employees, where they're not just looking for like technical training and on-the-job training, but they're looking for managers who can advise them on a more personal level. So I do work with some Gen Z employees, and this is definitely a trend that I personally have experienced. And then I went on to Harvard Business Review, and they were talking all about it. So you have to have that in this 2023 and beyond. Like, you have to have that ability to be able to help people assess what their skills are and tailor their job description to match what their innate strengths are, so that they can be their best selves, and that your team will also be more successful as a result.
One of the things I've heard is that part of the cause for that is that men will be naturally much more likely to apply for something they're not qualified for and be fine with that and not really see it as a thing, whereas women will be like, no, I don't meet the minimum criteria, I can't apply. Is that true? This is
based on science. Yeah, this is what actually happens. There has been studies that have proven that women do this. And to women out there who have done this, I'm just going to tell you one thing. It is not your job to decide if you are a good fit for their team. It is their job to decide, right? Why are you screening yourself out? They will screen you out if you're not a good fit. And second, when someone is writing a job description, it's like when we're little kids and we're like, okay, I have $5 in my piggy bank, but I want a dream house that has a slide going out the window and blah, blah. Like, that's how job descriptions are sometimes written, because sometimes people that write job descriptions are like, they're harried managers. They don't have the proper training to figure out like how to write a job description that really makes sense. They don't have the resources to really sit down and think about their business problems and how they want to boil that down into a job description. So you have these people that are writing job descriptions that may be doing a poor job of it, and they might be putting in all kinds of stuff in there with their tiny budget that makes no sense. So you should not screen yourself out. You should apply. If you can find yourself checking off like 50% of the bullets in a job description, you should apply, because the rest you can learn on the job or with some, independent training of your own or whatever it takes. But that's the reality of how men job search, and that's how you should too. think about all the times when you learned something from scratch, when there was like a decent chance of failure, but you succeeded. Like, you have to keep revisiting your successes, because there have been times when you could have messed things up or fumbled and you didn't. And being aware of that rather than focusing on everything that can go wrong with your new project will help you maintain your confidence so that you can correct for all of the things that can potentially go wrong.
But also, if it does go wrong, if you do drop one of those spinning plates, it's not the end of the world. There's something to learn there, isn't there? So next time you'll do it differently, you'll do it better.
I talked to an accountant who they were a young professional at the time that Excel came out. And accountants at the time were like, oh my God, this is going to take all of our jobs. And I was like, well, what's your take on that? You know, now ChatGPT is here, it's producing content. What's your take on it taking all of the content producers' jobs? And he was like, I'm not too worried, because even with Excel, like, the thing that made me a good accountant is that I was looking at the numbers and finding nuance for decision making, which Excel couldn't do. Like, it could add things up and, you know, pull out averages and kind of visualize data beautifully, but it didn't help you decide what to do based on that. And that's what clients are hiring me for, to make those recommendations.